problem 210, and we'll take a look at 2.9, which is very similar, and you complete it in a very similar fashion. But 2.9 says a set of data consists of 230 observations between $235 and $567. What class interval would you recommend? Well, first I need to find out again how many classes there are. And I do that, my observations, sorry, I should even have that in here, right? Observations equals 230, right? Okay, so again, 230, I come down, okay, it's less than that, more than that, so I'm going to use 8, and I just plugged 8 into there. And then I have to calculate the difference between my highest number and my lowest number, basically. And again, I do that by just saying this is equal to this one, hit my minus, and kind of disappearing on me. Oops, I have too many highlighted, so I gotta hit my escape. Okay, escape button's a wonderful button. Let's try this again. Equal to this one minus. Boy, it's not wanting to do that for me. I'm not sure what I got going on there. Huh. Let's hit my escape again and see what the heck I've got going on. Equals D1 minus D2. So yeah, it should. I don't know why I'm having any problems here. Minus. Yeah, you know, I can always do it manually, so I can just plug in my D2. Oops, how come it's not wanting to do that here? D2, I can always plug that in like that and it'll work. Huh, I don't know why. It's because I had a line there, or one of those quirky things, but I plugged it in, I guess, and did it that way, so I end up with 332, which then to calculate my my class or class size, interval size, I just divide this number by my number of classes. So this is equal to, see how this works now, this one divided by this one. I don't know if it's because I had that line in there maybe. And that rounded up for me, and that's okay in this case. Okay, you're going to want to be careful as we go through a lot of these problems that I don't necessarily you won't get away with rounding them. A lot of times we're going to want to go out 2 or 3 digits, you know. And I can change that by here, right? I can add or subtract, okay, based on that. And so 41.5. I don't want $sign. If I want to change that, I can actually come up here and say I just want it to be general. Okay. So then for your question, I think, and it doesn't ask me for mine, but your question then is, what would you suggest is the lower limit of the first class? So if I'm looking at that and I go back, you know, to page, I think it's on page 27, step 3 is set the individual class limits. First, you know, I need to round this off. Okay, and so I might suggest that my interval size is going to be 45 or 50. Okay, 45 or 50, that would probably be reasonable. Okay, so for my lower limit then, it needs to be, you know, I guess I would kind of do a little bit of math. If I did 45, I would say, okay, 45 minus 42 is 3. You know, I might want to make this 1.5 or 2 lower than my lowest. That would make it 1.5 or 2 higher than my highest. You know, that doesn't give me a really good round number. I could make my interval 50, okay, and 50 minus 42 is 8, divided by 2, 4. You know, I could probably then go 230, you know, and that's probably going to take me up to 570 on the high end. Okay, when I put the 50s in there, I have to sit there and figure that all out. So I might say that my lower end would be around 230. If you said 232, you wouldn't necessarily be wrong, or 233, but it should be lower than that low number to make sure it incorporates that.